In this video, we're going to leverage Zoom to schedule meetings. So I'm here in my Zoom account. So I do this through the website mainly. Come to meetings, and here's where you could schedule a meeting. Now, I've already got a whole slew of meetings that I'm doing through the month while I am still programming my training classes or private meetings. Yet you can use this for so many purposes, whether you want to meet with an agent one-on-one, whether you want to create a mastermind group, whether you want to do a training or meet with your clients for buyer consultations, seller consultations, or even do a virtual open house. There's unlimited possibilities to leverage with Zoom. So I'm here under meetings, and we're going to schedule a new meeting. And I might just call this schedule a test Zoom. So I might say Zoom test for training video. Now you can give it a description if you want. This is helpful if people want to learn more about this. So I can say this is a test for Zoom. Now, you can even create your own templates. Now, this is with the pro account, so I've already created templates, which just means basically the layout you like. You can save that later, which I'll show you when we get below. Then it's going to ask you, when do you want this to go? So we'll go ahead and schedule this, and maybe I want to schedule it for tomorrow at 7 a.m. is fine. Choose it as maybe a 30-minute quick powwow. Time zone, you can change it here. Now, if it's recurring, you could schedule it and recur it throughout. What I did find about recurring is it changes the ID every time. So if you do the recurring or not every time, it gives you a unique ID, meaning you can't use your personal meeting for recurring meetings. So if you want to use this personal, so it's the same every time, you would leave it there. If you want them to register for this, like a webinar, you can actually click the required, and it will actually make them sign up to have access. Now, that version only does it with automatic generated meeting IDs, and it actually has got some pretty cool features there. I've been using it for some classes. You can either generate your automatic meeting ID, or you can always use your personal meeting ID. Either one's fine. Meeting password, if you want to require it, I find that usually confuses people, so I don't tend to turn that on. But it is an option if you want to make sure people in there have a password. I like having my host video on, and the participants, I want their video on. The point of Zoom isn't to have a phone call. The point of Zoom is to video chat and to be on camera together. Now, you can choose to give audio or telephone only or both. I like doing computer audio because I want them on the computer. But it's your choice. If you want both, then they would get an automatic dial-in number that they can dial in from the US, and it would be a phone number to call, and they can hear and participate in the Zoom. Meeting options, I like to have them enable the join before the host so that they can get started, and that way when we start on time, it's instant. If you don't turn that on, it just says waiting for meeting to start, and that's okay as well. What I'm finding is in the social distancing, it's not a bad idea to let people get on camera together before it starts, because they can even start a conversation, and you have the ability to stop any of that once you do come on. I prefer the mute participants upon entry, and here's why. The bigger your class gets, or the bigger a video gets, the more people that are on camera at the same time, and the more people aren't used to this yet. So if you mute them first, then you won't get any unwanted noises when they come in. Now, enable waiting room is your ability if you want to control and say, hey, please wait until this starts. That's an option if you want to explore that. Only authenticated users can join. We'll use the sign into Zoom, meaning they have to have a Zoom account to access it. Or record the meeting automatically. I use this one a lot because I want to have the content that I can use later. So I have it recorded in the cloud, and then I can download it from my computer, which we'll do another video on. And if you have somebody else hosting this, you can also add their email address here to have them host. So this is the basic layout of one of my meetings. So I'm going to click save. And now, here is the meeting layout. So what do you do with this now? First thing is, you can even create a poll here. If you want to have a poll, you can add it where you ask questions. Like, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? So that's a neat feature. I have live streaming enabled, which means after you launch the meeting, click the more, which we have a video on, and you can live stream it to Facebook, which I love that feature. I've got the information up above. I can add it to my Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, Yahoo. Here's the actual meeting ID number, and here is the link for the ID. So they can just use the link. However, you can also say copy invitation and copy this and email it to people manually, or you can use one of these services as well. Here's the settings. However, you're not locked. So if you ever want to come back and edit this, you can always edit this meeting right here and make changes. And then all of your meetings are going to live right here in meetings. And here are all my different ones. And I can actually click on any of these to see what's going on. And I can start the meeting, delete the meeting. And when I'm finished, I can just schedule the new meeting for the next one. So that's how you schedule a new meeting. Hopefully you found value in this video. Be sure to like it, leave a comment, and as always, follow me on K2B Connect and YouTube today.